Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgie, and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga. And I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man chapter 177. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? I honestly thought this week's chapter was great. I thought it was a great chapter and once again establishing Yoru's character and the lengths that she's willing to go to defeat, Chainsaw Man, as well as there was a lot of comedic moments that, they were pretty. If I was the people involved in these situations, I would be pretty scared to say the least. But nonetheless, we get a lot of Fujimoto funny, awkward humor. And also we get a lot of big implications towards the end, especially what, my Yoru might be planning when it comes to defeating Chainsaw Man, because there's a big plot twist / cliffhanger at the end of the chapter that I want to talk to you guys about. Now, before I go any further with this week's chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my anime and manga, as well as all my Chainsaw Man content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's chapter. So this week's chapter starts out right off the bat, pretty much Yoru fighting Chainsaw Man. And we see that, Yoru, she pulls out Makima, man. She starts going bang, bang. And that was cool. I remember seeing that. I was like, yo, back again. We got the bangs, man. That was a nice nod by Fujimoto's part. And you see pretty much she's fighting Chainsaw Man. And eventually we see the confirmation that she actually made Chainsaw Man spit the mouth devil because of the holes. Either she made him throw it up or she made a hole in his stomach. Whatever the case is, the mouth devil is back once again. And we see that pretty much they're talking, and as this happens, she's kind of wrecking Chainsaw Man for a bit. He's pretty bloody. And then we see pretty much that Asa's just like talking to Yoru, and she's like, hey, so like, what's the, like, what, are you sure that once you defeat the black Chainsaw Man, like everything's gonna be fine? Like Denji's dream will become true? And she's like, yeah, yeah, just trust me. And then she's pretty much Asa's just asking Yoru, like, hey, like, are you fine about doing this? Like, are you okay with like taking advantage of the devils that were born from you and using them as your own weapons? Like, are you not like like, have you not kind of regret have you no regrets about how far you've come up to this point? And pretty much Yoru just goes and gives her like a very very cold shoulder, to say the least, because when I saw this I was like, yep, seems about right. That's about the Yoru I expected. She pretty much rebuttals Asa's whole thing and idea. She just goes, children are only are only there to be used by their parents. And I was like, oh my god, bro, Yoru has no chill. She just said, yo, I made them, I fought them, they were my kin companions, and I don't care. I'll use them for my own gain. That's all they're good for. And I was like, wow, man, that was crazy. I was like, Yoru was savage, bro. Straight up. She did some Game of Thrones using them as pawns, man. Like, I was like, yo. And as we see during the fight, she's pretty much wrecking Pochita for a good amount of the fight. And we see throughout it all that even she, Denji, like, or Pochita, they do recover, and they're kind of walking towards her, or they're by I believe they're on top of a building, and you see that she's pretty much just like, hey, like, Chainsaw Man, I got you pretty mad, didn't I? Huh? You really want to fight me now? I was like, come on, fight me, and like, she's ready for throwing hands. I mean, she just got a new pair of hands, so she's ready to use them, and she definitely is using them in this chapter. And as she pretty much Pochita just kind of like speed blitzes her, in the sense that like she's shooting at him but he avoids it. And in typical Fujimoto fashion, you cannot have an epic fight without a very awkward and very funny interaction between these characters with an innocent civilian. And what we see is pretty much as Pochita avoids the hit from Yoru, he stumbles upon, guess what, guys? A blood drive. Yeah, that's right. The one thing that Pochita needed. He stumbles upon innocent chick, like it looks like a high school student. She has like a little sign. She's like, yeah, blood drive, please, come on, donate your blood to save a person's life. And you see Pochita just pull up there, and she just obviously runs away scared. One even funnier thing was that Pochita grabs the sign, and I believe he's drinking the blood maybe, and he's just like he's just like mumbling, and it's just like hilarious, man. This had me bawling for a good moment. It reminded me a lot of the parallels of this to the final climax fight between Makima and Pochita, where we saw that pretty much Pochita goes to that hamburger place, and Kobeni's there. It reminded me so much of that scene. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. And poor innocent person was involved with these two Goliaths fighting each other. So that was hilarious to see. And how we start seeing the chapter start wrapping up is that we get an implication of something very big happening, at least from my understanding, because we see that a bunch of people's index fingers are being gone. I believe it was 400,000 people in America, people that were associated with the national weapons, gun owners, in other words. We see that their index fingers are being taken away or disappearing. And from my understanding, how I took this scene is Yoru's plotting something. At least this has something related to Yoru as a whole, because we see that as that's happening in the background, we cut back to once again Yoru in her point of view, and we see that she's doing like a finger pose in the sky, and they very much emphasize, well, this panel is showing that the Statue of Liberty is also there. So I'm wondering now, like, what is going on? Like, what are we about to witness? Because the chapter kind of ends in that note where we see, the Statue of Liberty kind of like, cracking a little bit, like in the face. And the first thing I was thinking about, I'm like, is Fujimoto gonna do like an Attack on Titan? Is he gonna do like, these are the walls and the Titans are inside of the walls? I was like, just thinking to myself, like, what is going on? And this chapter as a whole, I thought it was very good. I thought it was the very action-packed chapter that also gave a lot of character to Yoru, and just solidifies once again, like, listen guys, Yoru was not this soft that anybody wants to portray her to be. Like, she is a maniacal, very like bloodthirsty, revenge-filled kind of character that's only in it for herself, at least from my understanding on how she's portraying herself to be up to this point. And I think that she's willing to do anything to fight Denji, obviously. I mean, Chainsaw Man. And we see that it's paying off. I mean, she got the gun and the tank devils on her side, and they're definitely putting in work, because, I mean, just look at the gun devil alone. Like, that was, like, the biggest threat in part 1 that literally Makima had to use a bunch of contracts to even take down. And eventually use that gun devil to, as a fiend for Aki, which I still haven't gotten over that, man. Like, that Aki... And if I swear to God, Fujimoto, if you do us, like, if you make, like, Aki show up in some regard as the gun fiend or something, like, I know it won't happen because that's not how it works. But if you do, like, my man, I'm gonna start throwing hands at you, because don't do us like that. I cannot relive that, okay? But in all honesty, I think that this chapter was phenomenal, because, like I said, it was just Yoru and Asa, communicating, and you seeing more, once again, Asa, just how, blind she is to just how terrible Yoru is. And I think it has to do more with the regards of her being, like, very naive in thinking that, I can change Yoru. Like, it's that meme, like, I can fix her. Yoru cannot be fixed. Yoru cannot be fixed at all, guys. And, war is just, a nature that can't be tamed, really, no matter how hard you try. And you see that pretty much she's about to go wreck shop against Chainsaw Man. And I'm wondering what's gonna happen. Like, is she gonna, like, unveil, like, the actual gun devil is inside of the Statue of Liberty, or what is going on? Like, I'm wondering now, because I know it has to do something with a contract. With all these index fingers are being taken away, I'm wondering now, like, what kind of contract did the US do, or whatever the person that did this contract, who made the contract? Was it the government of the US? Was it, someone else that made that contract? Like, what is it? Like, I'm wondering now, like, what higher powers made this contract? Or what is the context of the fingers being disappearing? Like, because I don't think Denji ate the freaking index finger devil. So I'm wondering, like, what's going on? And I'm wondering how much of a power-up Yoru is really going to attain. Because, like, up to this point, we've seen a nerf Yoru. And pretty much... now that she got this buff with the gun and the tank devil, I'm wondering if she's gonna get more buffs now. I mean, don't get me even started with the nuclear weapons. Like, that would be insane. Now, with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Chainsaw Man, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.